guys, so we're finishing up Fact Master 125A from last week. So there's no, there is a backside to this one, but go ahead and don't worry about it because it uses manipulatives and we're not going to do that one. But we are going to be talking about times 4. So we're going to go ahead and go through and we're going to talk about the ones that we already know because just like with the rest of the multiplication facts that we've learned, we already know our 1s, we know our 2s, we know our 3s, right? We know our 5s, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about those 4s. So we already know any number times 0 is 0. We know that 1 times any number is itself, so that's 4. We know 2 times any number turns it into a doubles fact, so what's 4 plus 4? 8. We know 3 times any number is just 3 groups of that. So 3 groups of 4. If I count by 3 4 times, I'm going to go 3, 6, 9, 12. And then this is new, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that for a minute. Then we know 5 times any number is just counting by 5s. I'm going to count by 5 4 times. I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. All right, let's go ahead and go back. So for our times 4s, we can use the numbers that we already know to figure them out. So if I'm going to go ahead and go 12, and I have to have one more group of 4, I'm going to add 12 plus 4. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I already did 20. Now 6 times 4 is one more group of 4. 20 plus 4 is 24. One more group of 4, so I'm going to add another 4. 24 plus 4 is 28. One more group, 8 times 4. 8 plus 4 is 12, so it's 32. And then last, 9 times 4. One more group of 4. 32 plus 4 is 36. Now, another way, and I know that this is Mrs. Hughes' way that she'll show you in 2nd grade, is she likes you to line up the numbers on top and then do the same thing. So like 0 times 4 is 0, 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8. Then you're going to go 12, 16, 20. Oop, I kind of didn't give myself that much space. 24, 28, 32, 36. And she likes to do that beforehand, so then that way you can use it to help yourself. So it's kind of the same as this. So now what you're going to do is we have to find our missing factor. Remember, a factor is the number in a multiplication problem. Remember, add-in is addition, and factor is multiplication. So let's go ahead and find that missing number. So 4 times what equals 28? So I'm going to look for 28. 28, I have my 4 already. 7 is my missing factor. Do the same thing again. But I already know since this is equal, this has to be a 0, right? Any number times 0 is 0. Then 4, this one, 4 times 4 equals 16. 36, 9 times 4. 4 equal 4. Oh, I already know that's a 1 because any number times 1 is itself. Then you're going to go ahead and do the matching. So go ahead and pause the video real quick and use the number 1 box or that little cheat sheet that we did on the top to go ahead and finish number 2 by yourself. And then come back to me and check it. All right, you should have paused the video and finished number 2. Now you're gonna go ahead and check it with me. So I'm gonna check my math. Let's go ahead and do, look, 4 times 4 is 16. We'll use that one up here since it's closer. Then we know 0 times 4 is 0. 8 times 4, 32. 6 times 4, 24. 1 times 4, 4. 9 times 4, let's look, 36. 5 times 4, 20. 2 times 4, 8. 7 times 4, 28, and 3 times 4 is 12. So those are your times 4. A great way to practice your multiplication is you can get some multiplication cards or make your own multiplication cards. Take these problems right here and write 0 times 4 on one side, and then write the answer on the other side. And then have your brothers or sisters or aunties or uncles or mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, someone quiz you. And that'll be a great way to be faster at your multiplication facts. And then you'll just be able to go 0 times 4 is 0 super quick. All right, so that is FactMaster Side A. Now, next is you have an assessment today. So you have a fact assessment, which is just subtraction stuff that you've been practicing for a lot of first grade. So you're just going to go ahead and complete this and then have mom or dad grade you on it. And then written assessment, you're going to do with me. So what we're going to do, so if you want to do this, go ahead and finish your fact assessment after this video. Do the written assessment with me first. That way you don't have to pause and come back. So for your written assessment, I'm going to be reading all the problems to you, and you're going to do your problems on your written assessment. And then after you have completely finished your written assessment, you can either like switch to like a pen of a different color or a marker, whatever color you want to choose. It just can't be in pencil. And I want you to self-grade your written assessment, okay? And make sure that you're being honest. All right, so make sure that your name and date is on it, so that way when your mom or dad or you take your picture of your assessment, I know whose assessment it is, okay? So number 1, there are 257 children at Stiles School. There are 623 children at Savin Rock School. How many children are at the 2 schools altogether? So I want you to write your number sentence, do the work in the workspace, and then write your answer. I'm going to read it 3 more times. Go ahead and start working on number 1. There are 257 at Stiles School. There are 623 children at Savin Rock School. How many children are there at the 2 schools together? So all together that's that word that's going to help you find out what type of problem this is. All right, I'm going to read it one more time. There are 257 at Stiles School. There are 623 children at Savin Rock School. How many children are there at the 2 schools altogether? Don't forget to write your number sentence. Do your work in your workspace, and then write your answer with a label. Don't forget your label. All right, if you're still working on number 1, go ahead and pause the video, take your time, and then unpause it for the rest. So we're going to go to number 2 now. How many children are in room 8? So what we need to do is we look at our graph here, number of children in each classroom. So it says room 8 is this row, room 9 is this row, and room 10 is this row. And you need to count your boxes to find out how many kids are in that classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and read the questions again. Use the graph to help you and answer them yourself. How many children are in room 8? Use your graph. How many children are in room 9? Use your graph. Now it says, shade the graph to show that there are 20 children in room 10. So this is blank. You have to fill this in to show that the graph has 20 children in room 10. Now it says, how many more children are in room 10 than in room 9? So it wants you to compare room 9 and 10. How many more are in room 10 than room 9? Again, if you need a little bit more time, go ahead and pause the video and complete number 2. All right, number 3. Circle the shapes that have a right angle. A right angle. I'll give you a hint to remind you how we do a right angle. Use your ruler or a piece of paper. And if my corner fits perfectly into the corner of my ruler fits perfectly into one of the corners in my shape, it has a right angle. So that's my only clue I'm going to give you. Go ahead and test those out. And it says shapes, meaning there's more than one shape on here. that has a right angle. All right, number 4. Color 3 1/4 circles. So I want you to show 3 1/4. So remember, 3 is your whole number and 1/4 is your fraction. Go ahead and show that on your circles. All right, number 5. Fill in the missing number patterns. We have 70, 75, 80. What comes next? Next, 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 next. Then it has a new pattern down below. 58, 68, 78. What comes next? What comes next? What comes next? Then it also has what comes before, what comes before, what comes before. So remember, these are 2 separate patterns. This is one pattern, and this is the second pattern. I want you to complete those patterns. And then last, on number 6, I want you to find these answers. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tricky lines for you. Go ahead and finish these problems. All right, I'm gonna do a separate video with the answers on it so you can watch it after you're done. Remember, when you're gonna be grading your paper, I want you to switch to a separate color. All right, bye guys, good luck.